Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel General Hospital Official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Josslyn is in shock over Dex's passing, and Nina convinces Willow to accompany Wiley and Amelia. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, December 13th state that Ava Jerome tried several cards at the Port Charles Grill but each one was turned down. Rick Lansing believed that his accounts were closed as he had previously made purchases while awaiting Ava's payment because his cards were likewise rejected. Eventually, Ava convinced Lucas Jones to come pay their large debt so they wouldn't have to contact the police. While Ava was still unsure of what was going on, she got an email informing her that the Cassadines were reclaiming her divorce settlement from Nicholas Cassadine. Dante Falconeri arrived at Windmere with support after an alert was sounded. When it was determined that Lulu Spencer was the invader, Dante told the other cops that he would handle this personally. Dante had warned her that Charlotte and Valentine Cassadine had not lived in the house for years, but Lulu still wanted to look around to see if there was any clue as to where they might have gone. At last, Lulu found a locked casket with the Cassadine crest. When she opened it, she found some of Charlotte's old possessions. Lulu reasoned that Dante must hate her when the topic of conversation eventually turned to Sam McCall. Dante insisted that he could never hate Lulu and made it clear that he didn't blame her for Sam's passing. However, Lulu understood she was still alive because of Sam's sacrifice and could tell Dante was having difficulties. As the controversy surrounding Willow Corinthos and Drew Quartermaine developed, Trina Robinson convinced Josslyn Jacks and Giovanni Gio Palmieri to leave the Quartermaine mansion. In the end, Josslyn decided to go see Dex Heller at the hospital even though she didn't like the way Michael Corinthos was treating her. Gio had played the national anthem earlier in the game, and Trina asked for his all-access pass. As a result, Trina ultimately met Kai Taylor, with whom she had a pleasant conversation as she tried to learn more about football. Trina believed they should deliver their art history class together, so she asked Kai if that extension was still feasible. Alarms were humming as Josslyn arrived at GH. Josslyn shocked Isaiah Gannon and the other members of Dex's medical team by opening the door to his room as they were attempting to save his life. Josslyn could barely believe how quickly things had gotten out of hand when Anna Devane showed up and let her out. Josslyn decided that Dex was young and healthy and attempted to tell herself that he would be okay. Even though they shocked Dex and attempted to save his life, Isaiah had to inform Josslyn of his passing. Elizabeth Baldwin, who was confused because this was the second patient they had lost in this way, turned off Dex's monitors in his room. Liz sensed that something was very wrong. Since Willow at the Quartermaine mansion believed Michael Corinthos had done it, he admitted to accidentally recording the video with the nanny cam. After learning that Michael had been hoarding the video for weeks, Willow accused him of distributing it. That was obviously untrue, as everyone could see that Tracy Quartermaine had played the recording by mistake. Carly Spencer thought Willow had the gall to try to turn this back on Michael, so she reprimanded her for telling everyone what she had been given. Drew also had to cope with Carly's anger, but Tracy and Ned Quartermaine didn't hold back either. Tracy threatened to disclose the tape so that everyone could see Drew's true nature, despite his warnings not to hurt Willow and the kids. After some time, Michael went up to Drew and thought it was too late to start considering Willow's future. However, Michael acknowledged that he would not release the video to the public. At the Quartermaine gatehouse, Nina Reeves warned Willow about all of Michael's powerful connections and believed that she needed to take the kids right away if she wanted to stay involved in their lives. Nina convinced Willow to wake Wiley and Amelia Corinthos, and they scooped them up and took them to Nina's residence. When she entered the doorway, Carly shouted out Willow and Nina, who seemed to be trying to take Michael's children. After receiving reports on Willow's defection, Harrison Chase met with Brooke Lynn Quartermaine and Sasha Gilmore Corbin in the Quartermaine kitchen to discuss the situation. Chase started to wonder if he should have conspired with Sasha to make Michael and Willow date when it was possible that they weren't meant to be together. But Sasha told Chase that they were unrelated to the incident. As General Hospital spoilers suggest that Sasha and Willow will experience more upheaval following the disclosure of the truth of Sasha's one-night affair with Michael, we'll provide you with additional predictions regarding the reaction. General Hospital star Evan Hofer talks about how he feels about Dex Heller's passing. According to General Hospital spoilers, it was still hard to watch Dex Heller go, even though his terrible fate at GH was predicted. In an instant, everything that gave Dex hope for his recovery and future with Josslyn Jax was destroyed. It is clear that the criminal must have entered undetected at some point, as Dex is now Cyrus Renault's most recent hospital victim. Since Cyrus' stabbing did not work, it is believed that a fatal dose of digitalis was the answer. Despite the efforts of Dex's medical team to revive him following his heart attack, nothing could eventually save him. Now that Dex is dead, Evan Hofer discusses his genuine sentiments regarding his character's abrupt exit. First, Hofer informed Soaps that Dex has been in a lot of danger during his run. It wasn't a total surprise when Dex finally found himself in a challenging circumstance from which he couldn't get out. "You never really know if your character's luck is going to run out right now," said Hofer. But despite losing his job, Evan Hofer is staying positive. Although Hofer admitted that he will miss all of the friends he made at the studio, he is happy with the shift and excited to see what the future holds. Hofer told Us Weekly, "I couldn't have loved it or the people any more when I left because it had truly been a second home to me for the previous 2.5 years. But it's time for the next adventure." Hofer hopes to reveal the details of his upcoming 2025 initiatives as soon as possible. It's admirable that Hofer is staying so positive and accepting everything with gratitude. General Hospital teasers suggest that Josslyn Jax will experience one of the most difficult times of her life after Dex's death. Stay tuned for updates on Josslyn's response to this shocking revelation and all the fallout, as our predictions suggest that she will go a little crazy in the coming weeks. General Hospital spoilers: will Michael Corinthos' exit have anything to do with Cyrus Renault's homicidal rampage? According to General Hospital teasers, Cyrus Renault appears to be going on a murderous rampage. Fans just learned that he was the one who gave Sam McCall a digitalis injection in her bag, which resulted in her dying of a heart attack. Fans believe the new police officer has a bleak future if and when Cyrus visits him in the hospital because he also appears to be responsible for Dex Heller's stabbing. Will Michael follow? General Hospital teasers: this storyline is being built up according to GH teasers. Cyrus' terrifying rule over Port Charles is far from ended. Fans are aware that he was responsible for Sam's death, but no character has yet to suspect him. Dex's remark during the Monday, December 9th episode most certainly made him Cyrus' most recent victim. Renault was questioned by Heller about visiting his niece Lulu Spencer at the hospital on October 31st, the day Sam died. The culprit most likely stabbed Cyrus in an attempt to silence him, as Dex pointed out that he was at the hospital. Cyrus does not want anyone to find out that he spent Halloween at GH. This might connect him to Sam's killing. Could Michael Corinthos be next in GH spoilers? It would make sense for GH to want the ex-jailbird to take off as many affluent characters as possible if the soap opera is developing a huge serial killer plot with Cyrus at its core. Sam's death was a fitting beginning to this storyline. Letting a disposable guy like Dex die is a terrific way to advance it. However, if Michael Corinthos were to become a victim of Cyrus, it would be more likely that the criminal would be uncovered and face consequences. Especially from someone like Dante Falconeri, who stands to lose his brother in addition to the love of his life due to Cyrus. Could Chad Duell become entangled in this plot in some way, given that he is scheduled to depart the serial opera in the new year? To discover out, fans will need to tune in. Will Cyrus' murderous rampage be connected to Michael's departure? Why General Hospital's Laura Wright thinks Carly would burn the Quartermaine mansion down. She won't let her former partner get away with this. Here are several reasons Laura Wright claims her character Carly may set the Quartermaine mansion on fire following the mayhem caused by Drew and Willow's affair on General Hospital. Lights Out: Carly was the worst person who could have seen Michael's videotape of Willow and Drew's affair mistakenly play during the Quartermaine Christmas party. After blowing up at Drew and seeing Willow trying to leave the mansion with the kids, Wright explains how Carly might respond even more strongly. Wright mentioned her character's inability to understand why Jason punched Drew during a daily drama discussion with co-stars Bradford Anderson and Steve Burton. She said, "It's Carly, how do you think?" in response to Anderson's question on if she would beat up Drew after finding out. Fired up Burton acknowledged that he didn't agree with Jason's failure to tell Carly the truth about why he had attacked his brother, to which Wright had a completely reasonable response. "Given Carly's disposition, I'm assuming burned earth the moment she learns." Wright wasn't far off regarding her character's response: she would set that damn house on fire. Her eyes were undoubtedly burning when she saw Willow and Nina fighting over the children after she had defended her son right away and scolded Drew for standing in Michael's way. "This is her baby, this is Michael," Wright added, defending Carly's behavior. Despite Carly's cherished bond with her eldest, things can take an unexpected turn when the character leaves with his actor in the upcoming year. I mean, she loves all of her other kids, but Michael is the one that started it all. Do you believe Carly will discuss the terrible affair further? Tell us in the comments section. GH spoilers, Isaiah is accused of Sam's murder by Cyrus. According to General Hospital teasers, Cyrus Renaud has managed to remain relatively unseen. For these reasons, no one accuses him of killing Sam McCall. First, a few weeks ago, Sam's autopsy report was released. Additionally, the General Hospital staff continues to treat her death as an internal matter because it was caused by an overdose of digitalis. Furthermore, it doesn't appear like Sam and Cyrus are connected at this time. General Hospital spoilers, Elizabeth Weber is under investigation since Elizabeth Weber was both Sam's nurse on the day of her death and the head nurse. Suspicion was bound to fall on her. However, Elizabeth is an extremely meticulous nurse, and she would never have erred by giving Sam a medication that she wasn't even given. People are going to eventually realize that Sam was killed on purpose rather than accidentally. If Dex Heller passes away in the same way when he is a hospital patient, this will undoubtedly occur. Elizabeth Weber and Lucas Jones will become suspicious. GH spoilers, both Elizabeth and Lucas Jones have already thought that something isn't quite right at General Hospital. Lulu Spencer's ventilator was also turned off by someone. This should raise concerns for Elizabeth and Lucas, especially in light of the digital deaths of Sam and probably Dex. However, they have no cause to suspect Cyrus just yet, even if they are aware that someone is intentionally doing these things. Given his intelligence, Cyrus most likely has a scheme in place to have someone else falsely accused of his crimes. Dr. Isaiah Gannon, a newcomer to Port Charles, may be set up for murder, according to General Hospital spoilers. Other than the fact that he is close friends with Lucky Spencer, not much is known about his past. Jordan Ashford and Isaiah have grown to be close friends as well. Both Jordan and Cyrus have private histories. It would make sense for Cyrus to accuse someone she cares about of the atrocities he committed because he probably still harbors resentment for Jordan. Cyrus should be apprehended someday, but in the meantime, Isaiah might get up in a lot of trouble. What are your thoughts? Was Dex stabbed by Cyrus? Will Elizabeth and Lucas discover that GH sufferers are being murdered? Will Cyrus accuse Isaiah of his wrongdoing? Breaking, General Hospital's Evan Hofer departs as Dex. Evan Hofer departs GH as Dex. On General Hospital, Evan Hofer plays Dex. Since it felt like stories hinted toward Dex's death, the whispers have been going about for a few days. Hofer is no longer on GH, according to Over and Out Soap Opera Digest. The revelation was confirmed by an ABC soap show representative. Hofer began playing Dex Heller on May 5, 2022, and Dex passed away on the daytime drama's December 13th episode. It seems like the storyline dictated the leaving. A fresh start gone wrong. Dex was employed by Sonny in the beginning. Dex, however, joined the Port Charles Police Department after leaving Sonny's payroll. Dedicated watchers are aware that Dex was stabbed in the back at Rice Plaza earlier this week by an unidentified individual. For a while, it appeared that Dex would recover fully from the stabbing and the ensuing surgery. That wasn't the case, which was unfortunate for Joss and the other people who looked after Dex. It's hard to avoid drawing comparisons between Dex's death and Sam's recent passing given the circumstances surrounding it. Liz was certain that something wasn't quite right. She became aware that he was the second unexpected death in Port Charles. Will she investigate her suspicions further? Hofer was recently interviewed by Soap Hub at a fan gathering. He and Caitlin McMullen responded to inquiries from fans. In a different video interview, Hofer and McMullen discussed their favorite Christmas customs. Hofer appears to be the star of the upcoming short film Living the Dream. He will play Zach in the movie. As we find out more, we'll update you on this gifted and adored soap actor's future. Another fatality shakes Port Charles's General Hospital on December 13th. Port Charles says another shocking goodbye. Following the death of another person on the December 13, 2024, episode of General Hospital, something is seriously amiss in Port Charles. A wild Christmas after the footage of Willow and Drew emerged on television, the Quartermaines continued to be a chaotic place. Michael hurriedly switched it off as shock swept the living room, but Drillow's small, dirty secret was already out. Gio, Trina, and Josslyn chose to give everyone space as Willow confronted Michael, Carly ran into Drew, and Tracy had her jollies as an onlooker. At that point, Joss made the decision to go see her boyfriend at GH. Flatline GH was strangely quiet and deserted when Joss got there. She went to Dex's room and saw Isaiah take the defibrillator to her lover while someone else said they were losing him. Anna broke her horror by yanking her aside and explaining that she had arrived to see the PCPD rookie at the exact moment they hurried in to tend to him. Joss's medical school expertise kicked in when she concluded that the defibrillator pointed to a heart issue, but she also pointed out that Dex was young, healthy, and had previously sustained far more severe injuries. However, Isaiah informed Joss and Anna that Dex didn't make it and gave his condolences as he left the room. Elizabeth noted that something was seriously amiss at GH when she turned off the flatlining monitor and discovered that this was the second person to pass away in this manner. Do you believe Cyrus completed Dex's work? Tell us in the comments section. General Hospital spoilers for December 16th, Jason comforts a weeping Josslyn. Carly is determined, Lulu has another touching reunion, and Jason supports what is probably a shocked and angry Joss on the next GH. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, December 16th have Elizabeth considering her options while Carly is resolute, in addition to Jason standing by Josslyn. Another loss for Port Charles. It appears that patients are checking into GH but not checking out. First, Sam survived her surgery in good health and with joy. She passed away. Dex was beaming and cheerful around Joss and Anna. And he's gone now. Should we also presume that this is Cyrus? Most likely, given that the man had been sizing up Dex prior to the stabbing. Joss is now going through another phase of grief. Carly concentrates on Michael, while Jason is the one who stands by Josslyn. She is aware that her boyfriend, a rookie police officer, ought to have left the hospital. He's in the morgue now, though. I'm hoping that the PCPD will now take this seriously. Elizabeth, the Digitalis killer, considers her alternatives. Elizabeth was the final nurse to treat Sam, and she was right in the middle of everything attempting to save Dex. We don't know if this was intentional on the part of the Digitalis murderer. Elizabeth must be the one. Portia advises, you'll need to take a step back from patient care in the next on promo at the end of the Friday the 13th episode. How is the head nurse going to respond? Felicia, Mac, and Anna gathered their thoughts in the meantime. I hope they all come to the conclusion that there is a serial killer there and that the GH patients must be protected right away. What would they do first to put an end to Cyrus Renault, this dangerous madman? Determination and reconnection before Michael could take any action. At the end of Friday's episode, Carly blocked Willow and Nina from taking to Nina's. Teasers imply that Carly is resolute. Carly will therefore surely enjoy keeping Willow and Nina from making a hasty escape. Lulu has another heartwarming reunion in unrelated news. She's already had a lot of them. We're waiting for which one? Of course, the reunion between Tracy Quartermaine and Lulu. Hopefully, these two will have the opportunity to reunite at last. General Hospital recaps, Dex died. When Dex ran into Cyrus in Rice Plaza while he was getting a Christmas tree with Josslyn, Trina, and Gio, Cyrus assured him that he was abiding by the restraining order and that he would not be spending Halloween at the hospital with Lulu. Cyrus later had a flashback about killing Sam by putting Digitalis in her bag. Dex went to an alley to get rid of the alcohol after breaking up a fight between drunk college football players, but the officer was stabbed in the back. Dex was sent to the hospital for surgery when his partner found him, and Felicia told Chase everything she knew when Chase asked everyone, but she felt like she was missing something. Josslyn was relieved that Dex would live, but when she went back to visit him, Isaiah announced that Dex had died, and Anna revealed that he had taken a turn. Alexis ended up in the middle. Molly wanted to leave Alexis' place so that she wouldn't cause trouble for herself and Christina, but Alexis insisted that she stay, admitting that she could understand Molly's point of view. Christina refused to apologize for what she had said to Molly and insisted on wanting revenge. Sonny pleaded with Christina to take over Charlie's pub so that he wouldn't have to sell it and promised to take care of Ava. Natalia confided in him about her lack of intimacy with her children, and Sonny reassured her that there would always be time to work things out. However, she refused to listen to Molly's point of view, and Ava found that the Cassadines had stolen her divorce settlement after both she and Rick had discovered their credit cards had been denied. Lulu asked for answers. When Martin finally caught up with Laura, he was surprised to see Cyrus near Lulu, who admitted that she had lost out on years of Lulu's life while in a coma herself, and that Nina had been unable to find Valentine and Charlotte. Convinced that Nina knew where Charlotte was, Lulu questioned her at work, and Nina suggested she speak to Anna and insisted she didn't know anything. After finding Jack in her office, furious that she had planted the bug, Carly introduced him to Lulu, who insisted that he call Valentine, but no one answered. When Martin was questioned by Anna and Jason, he offered his phone, which gave Spinelli a clue. Brennan assigned Colette the task of finding Charlotte on social media so that she could refer them to her father, and when Dante received a call about a break-in at Windmere, he realized it was Lulu, who wanted to know where Charlotte and Valentine were, so he volunteered to help. It's out, Drew and Willow's affair. Before Drew went for Washington, Curtis wanted to finalize the arrangements to make him the new CEO of Aurora, but Drew postponed it until January. Michael had believed that Curtis would join him in taking down Drew, but Curtis acknowledged that he had another idea that wouldn't ruin the business. Curtis presented his proposal with Portia, who expressed disapproval but provided support and enlisted Jordan's assistance. Nina was hesitant to harm her buddy when Drew requested her to inform Curtis that Michael would be the CEO. Naturally, there was tension during the Quartermain's Christmas celebration. Michael streamed the PCU game on his phone since everyone wanted to see it, but the cable was out. Angry, Tracy snatched Michael's phone and swiped around, unintentionally playing the video of Drew and Willow having sex. Willow and Drew were embarrassed, and everyone was horrified. Since it would harm the children, Michael consented to refrain from releasing the video in order to ruin Drew. Carly stopped them at the door when Nina begged Willow to gather the children and come stay with her in the vicinity of Port Charles. As they reminisced, Lucky revealed that he had decided to stay in the area, having helped Liz buy a tree and decorate for Christmas, and when she offered him Cameron's old guitar, he performed for Josslyn. Trina told Josslyn that she was wrong about Kai and that the work she had given him for their class project was actually pretty good, and after the big game, she went to see Kai to congratulate him and ask if he still wanted to continue the project. Sasha admitted that she would keep the child when Maxie checked in on her, but she insisted that the father was an unidentified person who never needed to know. Maxie then found Lulu, and finally found her friend, and Brad offered Lucas that they go to Havana together because he was so excited about the medical conference. Sitting at a booth in the dimly lit Port Charles Grill, Ava Jerome became more and more irate as each credit card was denied. She frowned as she glanced across at Rick Lansing, who was equally shocked when his cards were denied, and he speculated aloud that his accounts had been frozen because he had made purchases while he awaited the arrival of Ava's promised check. The waiter's intense gaze hung over them, and Ava winced as she fumbled with her phone to check her bank account, saying, "This can't be right." The waiter suggested that the police might need to get involved, so Ava decided to call Lucas Jones for help. He was irritated but on time to pay the outrageous bill, and the doctor couldn't believe Ava had called him for such a trivial matter. "You couldn't find someone else?" Lucas asked with a heavy sigh. He handed his card to resolve the conflict despite his dissatisfaction. "Thank you. I'll reimburse you." "This is probably just a misunderstanding," Ava answered sincerely. But Ava's face clouded as her phone showed an email alert, confirming her worst suspicion. The Cassadines had retracted their divorce settlement with Nicholas Cassadine, her accounts were frozen, and the life she thought she had built was crumbling. Lulu's search for answers. At the same time, an alert was triggered, and Dante Falconeri arrived across town at Windmere with support. The ominous corridors of the ominous house, filled with Cassadine memories, loomed over Spoon Island, and Dante warily entered, surprised to see Lulu Spencer. "What brings you here?" Dante asked, waving the other officers aside. "I'll take care of this." Lulu explained that she was looking for information on her daughter Charlotte's whereabouts. Despite Dante's protests that Valentine and Charlotte had not lived there for years, Lulu kept searching. Her persistence paid off when she found a locked chest with the Cassadine crest. Inside, she found some of Charlotte's belongings, including a treasured toy horse and an old outfit. Strong emotions were stirred by the revelation. Lulu hugged the items to her chest and spoke in a tremulous voice. It must have some meaning because she kept these. Dante's eyes softened as he tried to comfort her, and he mentioned Sam McCall, whose loyalty had saved Lulu's life, and Lulu admitted her guilt, assuming Dante didn't like her because of the price Sam had paid. Dante stated to her, "I could never hate you. You are not at fault for any of this." Dramatic explosion at the Quartermaine mansion. Tension was palpable as a scandal erupted back at the Quartermaine estate, and Tracy Quartermaine had inadvertently let everyone watch a shocking video on a tablet, Willow Corinthos and Drew Kane sharing a private moment captured on the nursery's nanny cam. The room erupted in gasps and jaw drops. "Turn it off!" Draw screamed, his cheeks flushed with anger. Ned Quartermaine and Tracy grinned at one another, their tongues ready to strike, but Michael Corinthos quickly stopped the camera, but the damage was already done. Tracy laughed. Well, that was revealing. Despite his imperfections, Alan never went this low. Drew became impatient and said, "This is not your problem." His voice rose as he shot back. Michael spoke to Drew privately, obviously disappointed. "Look at what you've done, even though you claim to care about the family. In what way do you think this won't harm everyone?" But Willow was so upset by the altercation that she sobbed as she left the room. Carly Spencer, who never backs down, went out with her. Carly said, "You threw away everything he gave you, so you have no right to try to do this to Michael." She sobbed, "I made a mistake. But that does not imply that I am deserving of this." Willow's shields collapsed. The last-ditch plan of Nina. At the Quartermaine gatehouse, Nina Reeves seized the chance to push her agenda, telling Willow that Michael was a dangerous enemy because of his ties and urging them to act immediately. "We must depart immediately if you wish to have any chance of remaining in your children's lives," Nina said. They gathered Amelia and Wiley and hurried them into coats after Willow reluctantly agreed, but before they could escape, Carly appeared in the doorway with her arms crossed and a furious expression on her face. "Where are you planning to take Michael's children?" Carly demanded. The developing relationship between Trina and Kai. Meanwhile, Trina Robinson was on a quest of her own. Once she had Joe's all-access pass, she came upon Kai Taylor at the stadium. Following his triumphant performance, Kai was pleasantly delighted to meet her. He smiled and said, "Hi, Trina. I didn't think you'd be here." Trina praised his efforts and admitted that she had been too harsh on him in the past. "Sincerely, I apologize for not recognizing your talent," she said. Kai chuckled. "You are the only one who holds me to such high standards. It's actually kind of reviving." The two started talking casually about football while Kai carefully explained the subtleties of the game. Trina said that they should work together on their presentation on art history. Kai enthusiastically agreed as their friendship deepened. At the General Hospital, tragic incidents. When Josslyn Jacks arrived at General Hospital to visit Dex Heller, alarms went off. Her heart sank when she entered his room and realized how hard the nurses and doctors were working to rescue him. After receiving orders from Isaiah Gannon, his team made every effort to revive Dex. Anna Devane carefully walked Josslyn away from the chaos. In a whisper, Anna guided her to a bench nearby and said, "We need to give them space to work." Josslyn's hands shook as she clung to the hope that Dex would live. "He's strong," she remarked, her voice quivering. "He will be all right." But Isaiah showed up a few seconds later, his face solemn. "I apologize," was his quiet reply. "Dex didn't make it, despite our best efforts." Everything in Josslyn's world collapsed. She fell upon the bench, tears streaming down her cheeks. In his chamber, Elizabeth Baldwin stood over Dex's still body, her face wrinkled in confusion. Liz murmured, "This is the second patient we've lost in this manner. Something doesn't seem right." The effects begin. As the night wore on, the complex lives of Port Charles residents got increasingly muddled. When Carly and Nina faced off at the gatehouse, tensions erupted. Drew was at the Quartermain house trying to mend his shattered relationships while Tracy and Ned planned their next move. Josslyn promised to look into the cause of Dex's death at General Hospital because she was determined to bring justice to the guy she loved. The drama was far from over, and the stakes had never been higher. When they were revealed, the secrets in Port Charles threatened to demolish everything that stood in their path. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.